Ambition. It's not a destination, nor a finish line. It's what you keep racing towards, to push, to the extremes, to race, race, race. That's when you find the limit. That's our ambition, so you too can race yours.
Toyota. Move your world.
Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore Finals. I'm Claire Jedrick.
And I'm Hong Choi. We are your hosts for today's event.
Now, word has it that Toyota Boutique is buzzing with media friends and GT Cup fans who have come together for a watch party, joined by none other than Ruru Sama and Ryan Tan.
Wow, what great spirit. Whether you're watching on site or online, hold on to your seats as we've got an extra dose of excitement for you. We've prepared 2 questions for tonight's event. Answer them correctly and you will stand a chance to win this limited edition GR86 Nets cash card with $50 value.
As today's race unfolds, 3 racers will be crowned winners, propelling them to Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Asia 2023, set to take place in Kuala Lumpur on the 24th September 2023.
Now before we kick things into high gear, here's a brief overview of Toyota Gazoo Racing and Gran Turismo 7. Toyota Gazoo Racing, or TGR in short, is the brainchild of Toyota's commitment towards making ever better cars. Toyota's history in motorsports dates back to more than 60 years. By harnessing the knowledge gained from extreme motorsports conditions and refining every aspect of its cars on all types of road conditions, Toyota Gazoo Racing is all about pushing the limits for the better. Gran Turismo 7 brings together the very best features of real driving simulator. It recreates the look and feel of classic motors and bleeding-edge supercars alike in unparalleled detail, bringing the world of realistic car racing to life and delivering a competitive sim racing experience in style.
Now, before we flag off the final races, let's take a quick look at the highlights from this year's semi-finals.
And I believe he's still trying to fight back for that second position from Dr. Dasat Rasyad.
That's right, these guys now enter into the first small hairpin, turn 6 and 7 over there. These guys have got to make sure they accelerate. Okay, MVP there with the fastest lap, 2:03.975. Probably just a little under a second faster than the last Group V. This guy, he's having a Sunday picnic, easy.
He really is. I think by the end of lap 3, he may be able to even chill out a little bit with that big 3.5 second gap ahead of Lee Yong-ming, who is currently in second. I have to say that he has been performing really well for the semi-finals so far for the 2023 Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore.
I know these drivers in Group A and Group B know that they've got to be able to take it seriously. So FE won't be pulling any of his fancy maneuvers.
Maybe not yet.
Not yet, but he knows he needs to make this stick because it's top 12. He makes a mistake, make the gap. Like you said, semi-finals, I think these guys know where they are. For the rest of the Group A and B, they're just going to make it stick and make it to the finals. There we have Lee Yong-ming, Nicholas.
That's right, swapping places between 4th and 5th position. Nicholas now dropping to 5th, maybe temporarily, maybe for the remaining of this race, we don't know yet. Lee Yong-ming in 4th. Douglas Lim already a little bit more comfortable with a 1.6 second gap ahead. So this battle for 4th should be continuing on for at least this next 1 to 1.5 laps.
What an incredible spectacle. Our 24 semi-finalists have definitely fired up that game. Now, here are the top 12 that has made it to the finals.
Now with 12 of them advancing to today's finals, the competition intensifies as they go wheel on wheel, vying for the top 3 spots.
And I can't wait to find out who will emerge victorious at the end of this showdown.
Me too.
Hong, shall we dive into the nuts and bolts of the finals?
Sure, Claire. The 12 finalists will be competing in 3 races. Race 1 takes place on the Fuji Speedway GP for 6 laps in the GR Supra, delivering 387 horsepower on a 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 engine. It is truly a test of their skills and finesse with these sprint races. All races know that their total score for all races determine the final results, and they will definitely be meeting business on the track. For race 2, our drivers will compete on the thrilling Deep Forest Raceway for 6 laps. This is where they will be pushing the compact yet mighty GR Yaris to the limits. Boasting a 1.6-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine that produces 268 horsepower with 370 Nm of torque, together with a 4-wheel drive system, this is a race to watch. Here comes the final race at the Grand Valley Highway South Circuit. These 7 laps also signal our racers' last shot to obtain more points as they navigate the terrain with utmost precision and put the ultimate sports car, the GR86, to the test with its 2.4-liter flat-4 engine and 228 horsepower.
Next up, Hong, let's talk about the point system. Now, the final ranking of each race depends on the racers' finishing positions, taking into account any penalties that have been incurred. Now, points will be awarded to the racers according to their position for each race. For final race 1 and race 2, first 20 points, second 15 points, third 12 points, fourth 10 points, fifth 9 points, 6th 8 points, 7th 6 points, 8th 5 points, 9th 4 points, 10th 3 points, 11th 2 points, and 12th 1 point. Now for final race 3, first 25 points, second 18 points, third 15 points, fourth 12 points, fifth 10 points, 6th 8 points, 7th 6 points, 8th 5 points, 9th 4 points, 10th 3 points, 11th 2 points, and 12th 1 point. The champion title goes to the racer with the highest points accumulated across all 3 races. Now Hong, over to you for the game settings and rules.
Now, to ensure a fair and competitive environment, the race organizers have mandated several settings. Counter-steer assist and active stability management are prohibited in the race. No limit on traction control, driving line assist, and ABS. Penalties for taking shortcuts and wall collisions are set to mild to prevent drivers from exceeding the limits. Ghosting is weak to allow for realistic overtaking. Claire, it looks like we're all set to kick off the action.
Wait. There is an exciting twist for our viewers. Now vote for the racer that you think will be the champion for the finals, and you will stand a chance to win a Razor Basilisk Hyperspeed wow. Now for our viewers at home, you can cast your vote by clicking the link in our pinned messages in the chat box. Now for those at the watch party, look out for that QR code to vote. There will be 2 winners, each for online and offline, and voting will close before the start of race 3. Good luck to you all.
Now without further ado, with all the racers geared up and ready, this is the moment everyone has been eagerly awaiting. Let's kickstart the TGR GT Cup Singapore 2023 finals. Let's go. Welcome to Japan and welcome to Fuji International Speedway. This is race 1 of the 2023 Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore, race number 1. Lights are about to go off, they're flashing red right now, and away we go. There we have it. All drivers full throttle, beautiful start, clean start from all the drivers here at Fuji Speedway.
Oh, this is a notoriously long straight. These guys haven't really started from the end of the grid, but that turn 1 coming into it, it is so easy to really outbrake yourself and go off the circuit, or even, I guess understeer off it. But it's a slow start at the beginning. We'll see when it comes to the second lap. F. Issa out in front. MVP, who's his closest competitor when it comes to the timings. This is going to be the battle of the best, the bravest. It's all of the above.
That's right, Claire, and a beautiful start from every single of these 8 drivers. Very happy to see that Lee Yong-ming managed to make it into the top 8. Had a bit of a challenge there during the semifinals, but here he is, ready to fight and ready to do battle.
That's right, we can see that Lee Young-min making it into that top 12 of Douglas X Lim, TF Sito, Fake Orpheus. Now, right now, Lee Young-min, mid-grid. These guys are bunching up Douglas X Sim. We're gonna see where are they out on grid now. They are approaching that hairpin actually there.
That's
that mini
right.
110-10, and you know what?
Oh, going, I think he
The drama is unfolding early.
exactly, at lap 1 out of 6. It's still a pretty long way to go. I think about 14, 15 minutes for this entire race to wrap up. But it will be 101% from all these drivers right from the very get-go. Fake Orpheus there going wide. And SL Alpha 05 taking opportunity, jumping into the 4th position and trying to probably catch up to Dr. Rasset, who is in 3rd.
The aesthetic view of Fuji-san, that's real. And you know what? I guess you always see Fuji-san in this game because usually it's cloudy. But anyway, back to that. We're going down the notorious straight, super fast into turn 1. Now this is going to be interesting. Much more interesting than that first lap.
That's right, because now the drivers will be carrying as much speed as they could out of turn 16 and bring all that speed down this front straight. This is the GR Supra, which means there's a lot of power coming from those engines. You can see those brake rotors turning red hot as the drivers dive into turn 1.
I have always dreamt of taking on the legendary racetracks behind the wheel of a GR model. But wait, hold on. I mean, it's been a couple of years. I mean, I might have already tasted some of that thrill on the racing simulator.
I completely get where you're coming from. The racing simulation delivers such an immersive and lifelike experience that it truly captures the essence of actual racetracks. You can really feel the pulse of real-world racing dynamics through it.
And you know what? You are so right. But tell me, what is your favorite racetrack so far?
It will have to be the Deep Forest Raceway because of its challenging twists and turns. It really gets my adrenaline pumping.
You know what, Nai, I really have to agree with you on this one because I heard the track has been given an upgrade with the addition of a sharp turn. Now, I can't wait to personally see how the racers are going to fare in this upgraded version of the track later on. Really, Japanese circuits. I just feel it really is for, you know, the bravest drivers out there and really technical drivers. We're going to be able to see their skill sets really on this circuit. And we can see there these top names, F. Isa, MVP, Daciat Rasjad, and of course there, Douglas X Lim. It looks like he lost a bit of space, gone very wide.
At that turn
and he's
14.
dropped into 10th position behind TF Sito.
At that turn 14, you were just talking about Claire on the previous lap for these drivers. All right, now cameras on Fake Orpheus 22, camera on Lee Yong-min, who are battling for 5th position. They just exit turn 16, not as steady as they would like. You can see Fake Orpheus now really holding on to that defensive line on the inside, not trying to open up anything for Lee Yong-min, now cutting into the left for the maximum use of the width of the circuit for turn 1. And well, clean driving from all the drivers.
This is a great place for people to overtake, by the way, for a dramatic show. But also, this is a place where I've seen in real life people crash. They tend to sometimes go over there, and I've seen the oversteering, I've seen the understeering, I've seen it all.
That's right, and Douglas X Lim here reclaiming that 9th position that he lost earlier at turn 14 away from TF Sito. Beautiful, beautiful driving, again, very consistent. The question is, will he be able to hold on to this position when they get back to turn 14? Because there may be some psychological challenges that he would have to overcome when they get back to that part of the circuit.
And these guys really have to adjust the throttle so much coming into this 2nd sector, into the 3rd sector.
That's right. This track, like you said, Claire, earlier, has it all. High speeds, exciting tight corners and hairpins. Leading this pack right now, F. Issa with a 1.5 second gap ahead of MVP. Seems to be pretty comfortable. That is how you do turn 14 and turn 15. Beautifully executed there by F. Issa, leading this pack, leading this race at this point.
That's right, F. Issa there really is quite the person that you'd want to get that data and follow. He doesn't have any creative streak going on with him. He knows the circuits well. Coming into the competition, you don't always know what the circuits are. You have to go and play all of them.
Right.
You know, but Douglas X Lim, they're really taking it off that circuit right there. Vince Speed as well, managing to just keep it on there. He's in 12th position. He makes up that top 12 on the grid there. Jaja just slightly in front of him in 11th position, but 20 seconds behind the race leader.
That's right, here they come now, completing lap number 3 into lap number 4 into turn 1. Very nice driving from those drivers in basically what we just saw from first to 6th. Cameron now on Lee Yong Ming as they come into turn 3. This is also a pretty tricky corner because if you brake a little bit too late, you go wide and you get both penalty and just messes up your entire lap.
Here's a little bit of trivia. This turn that they're on now, one time I didn't have a media pass and I went down for some photos and I got pinged on the camera. Almost got a fine.
Oh no, it's very strict in Japan.
Japan has some of the strictest rules and regulations when it comes to racing. Luckily I was let off.
I remember my first time at Fuji Speedway, with a media pass, by the way. We had a media photographer briefing, safety briefing, not just for the drivers, but also for the photographers and videographers. Testament to why this is such an amazing
They run their own game out in Japan, but also it is another level out there. They have some of the best circuits in the world, some of the best drivers, and some of the people who keep some of the most nicest cars out there. There's always a festival down at Fuji. I love Japan and how they keep and look after their cars. But let's get back to the racing. We're in lap 4 of lap 6 of the Toyota Gazoo GT Racing Cup here for Singapore. These guys will go into an overall win to go and go to the Asia Pacific region races, and this is for Singapore. And as we can see there, fastest lap was 1:53 by F. Issa. Fake Orpheus there in 5th position, and we've got this brilliant view here in 6th position of Lee Yong Min. He's actually fared quite well. I feel like he's done a lot better, and he's taken the pressure quite well into this race 1 of the finals.
That's right. He did have a bit of an unfortunate incident with the semi-finals, but thankfully was able to still qualify into the top 12 for the finals. And here he is proving not just to the world, but more importantly to himself, that he is indeed a good, fast, consistent driver. Now in 6th place, right smack in the middle of these 12 drivers for the 6-lap race. Second, 1.5 laps to go till the checkered flag.
I want to see, is he going to make it up right behind Fake Orpheus and applies a little bit of pressure? But you know what? Things have not changed up in the top hand of the grid there with F. Issa, MVP. So 2 seconds in between each of those cars there. I think nobody's going to make a major move unless they make a mistake, but I mean, it looks like very clean driving. So far, things are just going according to plan for MVP. Can he make it up? I don't know if he's got enough time there to make it up to F. Issa, because I mean, the 2 seconds out onto circuit. We're back to Lee Yong Meng, but I really want to see what the lap breakdown is for F. Issa, MVP, and Dasyat Rasat. These definitely are the strongest contenders out there.
That's right, Claire, and they're also proving their worth as well, because they did so well in the 2022 edition. Fake Orpheus, they're almost losing it to Lee Yong Ming. Lee Yong Ming in a very prime position, waiting for an opportunity to pounce. Is it now? Is it now? Is Lee Yong Ming going on the inside of turn 16? He is, closes the door against Fake Orpheus. Oh, there we go. The 2 drivers now mirror to mirror, door to door, coming up to the front straight. Fake Orpheus still slightly ahead, Lee Yong Ming in 6th.
What's going to happen there into turn 1? Are we going to see these guys go for a firework display? Let's just see Lee Yong Min there behind Fake Orpheus as we see coming around the back Boyzan. It's going to be an opportunity for Boyzan to take over, but it isn't. Lee Yong Min, but going very wide.
Orpheus also going way off course, dropping down to 7th. Boyzan, just like you said, Claire, taking opportunity, pouncing ahead of these 2 drivers, taking 5th position. Lee Yong Ming still in 6th, but in 7th position is Fake Orpheus, 22. Brilliant driving from all the drivers. Perfect opportunity to Boyzan, and he took it.
On the last lap as well, so never say never. But will he make it stick? There, once again, Fake Orpheus, it seems like it has rattled the steering wheel on his car there on the G's. Brilliant type of GRs that we have with the 86s. And you know, Lee Yong Ming, Is he going to make it up, Boyzan? I think they found their pace, taking a deep breath. But you know what? This is great news if Boyzan can stick it in and keep it for 5th place. It's great news for him overall.
That's right. Every point counts, every point matters because it's the total points of all 3 races for each driver that determines the winner for this year's GT Cup 2023 Singapore. Boyzan now into the last couple of corners, done beautifully. And right here on the final lap, oh, F. Issa, they're losing a little bit of that tail. I think, again, Claire intentionally showing off his drifting skills and consistency with race timings. Look at that race timing, 153 across the board.
Fantastic driving there as a checkered flag. He goes past F. Issa, goes away into the distance. Very shortly behind him, MVP. And in 3rd position, Dr. Dasyat Rasyat as we wait for SL Alpha. Where is he on that pack?
Lee Yong-ming managed to overtake Boyzan on the final turn 16, taking 5th position. Boyzan in 6th, Vic Orpheus in 7th. Will he cross the line first? Yes, Lee Yong-ming crosses the line slightly ahead of Boyzan, who took 6th, Vic Orpheus in 7th. 8th position goes to Daft Punk, 9th Douglas, 10th TF Sito. 11th position goes to Jaja, and finally Vinspeed in 12th position. What a fantastic race, Claire. I am blown away.
Exciting stuff then. There we have it. Those are our top 12 here at Fuji Speedway.
That's awesome. Now that race 1 is over, let's take a look at who's in the lead.
There we have our preliminary position.
Claire, any telling on whether your favorite racer clinched top position in race 1?
Well, Hong, since I'm always right, I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise by revealing my guess. Now, the leaderboard does give us valuable insights into our racers' performance this round. But racing, it's known for its unpredictability. So I'd love for a big twist of events. So I'll be rooting for all 12 of them.
You're absolutely right. The competition is far from over, and the prospects of securing the coveted top 3 positions are as wide open as ever.
Now this brings me to this reminder for our viewers. With race 1 down, the clock is ticking. Remember to vote for your desired champion, and you stand a chance to win a Razer Basilic Hyperspeed mouse. Now voting will close before the start of race 3. So our viewers at home, simply locate the chat box and click on the link in our pinned message to vote. For those at the watch party, scan the QR code and start voting.
All right, now it's time to start race 2. Ruru, are you ready? Let's go.
This is a map which consists over 4.25 kilometers, 15 turns. And this is going to be a great race. Here we are waiting for the lights to go out, and it is a go, go, go! Here we are. F.Issa up in the first place with MVP. Also having a slow start once again, tucking right behind into Dr. Dasyat Rasyat. And there we are waiting for that rear end view. The SL Alpha taking on the inside, defending his position. I think right behind him is Fake Obvious, but Fake Obvious making it into 4th position. SL once again reclaiming that spot. And it is a tight bumper-to-bumper action in that mid-pack, 4, 5, and 6. And right next to Daft Punk though, do we have Boyzan?
I think Boyzan is slightly behind, not really catching up to this group yet. But such an interesting circuit, such a beautiful circuit I might add. It is in anti-clockwise, so everything is reverse order in terms of the direction the cars are going, for those of you who are more familiar with clockwise circuits. Here's the second question for tonight. Name a Toyota Gazoo racing car model used in the GT Cup Singapore Finals 2023. For our viewers at home, as usual, simply type your answers into the chat box. And for those of you who are watching at the watch party, over to you, Ruru. And good luck to all.
Hong, when it comes to race cars, what do you consider the most critical feature?
Without a doubt, the GR Yaris takes the lead for me. I'm always on the lookout for its unparalleled agility, compact yet potent engine, and its ability to handle twists and turns like a champion. The way it effortlessly combines power and performance while maintaining impeccable control on the track adds another layer of excitement to every corner and straightaway. Claire, what about you? What's your personal pick?
You know, I have always been a big fan of the GR86. It's got a sweet design and aerodynamic contours, and it catches my eye every single time. I think though what really gets my heart racing is the GR86's balance between power, handling and precision. Now, whether it's the thrill of acceleration or the satisfaction of conquering a challenging corner, the GR86 delivers on every level.
You know, the GR Supra's low center of gravity, relative lightness, and ability to go around corners really fast also makes it a strong contender. It comes down to the thought and precision that Toyota Gazoo Racing has poured into the GR models that make them such gems on all the racetracks.
You know what? Each of them is a legend in its own right. Now, our GR fun-to-drive sports cars are born under the most extreme conditions at major motorsports events.
Very true. Tried and tested and engineered to provide a driver-centric experience, each GR model is race-inspired and road-ready with intuitive handling, superb front-to-rear weight distribution, a low center of gravity, exceptional aerodynamics, driver-focused cockpit, and more for an everyday fun-to-drive and inspired experience.
In fact, I'm sure, and I know our racers participating in the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup get to experience the sheer exhilaration of these GR cars and the driving dynamics that come with each of those models.
I'm sure they do. Talking about the GR line always gets me excited, and wow, we must have dropped one too many hints to everyone.
And on that note, it is time to reveal the answer to our question. Name a Toyota Gazoo racing car model used in the GT Cup Singapore Finals 2023. And if you answered a GR Supra, GR Yaris or GR86, congratulations! You might just be the next lucky winner of the limited edition GR Nets cash card worth $50.
And this is the final call to cast your vote for your champion in mind and stand a chance to win a Razer Basilisk Hyperspeed mouse. For our viewers at home, you can cast your vote by clicking the link in our pinned message in the chat box. And for those of you at the watch party, look out for the QR code to vote. Hurry, voting will close by the end of race 2. Now let's get back to where we were in race 2.
And you know, they're turning in a little bit, maybe perhaps too early, getting on throttle too early. It's deceptive. It's fast paced going down the hill. Once again, Darth Punk there. I think he's going to need another lap or so to clean that up. Dr. Dasyat Rasyat, these guys are now on to 11-12, so fast paced action all the way round this circuit. You know what, when I say fortune favors the bold, I believe this front pack here, these are the bold lot of race drivers in this Toyota Gazoo Cup Race 2.
Indeed, and they are also probably the ones that spent a lot of time with practice, lap after lap, again and again and again, to make sure that they've dialed down everything they need to know and understand, not just about the track, but also about these GR Yaris. I mean, they're beautiful cars, they handle really well, they're high-performance four-wheel drive cars, but to bring the same timing, the consistent timing lap after lap, that takes a lot of skill.
It does, and like we said, Effie, so 1:43, so this circuit.
That's right, here he comes into turn 1, already very consistent timings as well. Boyzan there in 9th position, Douglas X Lim dropping to 10th, Jaja still in 11th. Seems like Jaja has dropped a little bit further behind these two other drivers. Will there be a battle for 9th between these two, Boyzan and Douglas X Lim? Well, we still have another 2.5 laps to go.
That's right, Boyzan's best lap over there, as we saw. We're going to TF Sito, a little bit more of an appearance from him, guest appearance. It looks like there on his 3rd lap, it was 1:46. He settled into this circuit, got grips with what's coming up, and these guys really are smashing it out on this pretty fast, action-packed circuit here in Switzerland.
That's right, most of these drivers are paired up pretty much. They do have a target ahead of them, or they do have someone chasing behind, breathing down their necks, adding on to that pressure. No high beams from any of these drivers flashing just yet. I think there we have SL Alpha in 5th position going through a penalty slowdown. Fig Orpheus in 6th, trying to stay as close as possible to the bumper. Pouncing ahead and taking that 5th position would be his strategy as they come to the end of this straight right before the turn 14 hairpin. Let's see if SL Alpha is able to pull anything off away from Fake Orpheus. Not at the moment. Fake Orpheus in 5th position, holding on to that position tightly.
You know what else is deceptive? They call it deep forest. Deep forest, I think lullaby, I think meditation. There is nothing relaxing about this circuit at all. It is fast-paced. There is non-stop action between these guys. And you know what now? I think we are getting a good idea of what the spread is like between these drivers. I think it's going to stick. I thought SL Alpha would have a little bit more pace on this circuit, but it looks like he has a little bit more confidence on the faster pace circuits like the one we had previously in the States. And F-ISA taking that turn confidently there, and that was going into mid-turn sector 2 into turn 5 and 6. Now these guys are going to flow through there, and then we've got a nice tight left hand turn, a wide kind of hairpin into turn 10.
That's right, and that is such an important turn because they need to carry as much speed as they possibly can out of turn 10 right about here in order, oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong car.
I know it's flat out from here on,
No,
really.
it
I
is,
think this really is flat out all the way into here. But now they've got to see. Let's see who's braking first over here. Nope, nothing. They're still carrying on.
Right, throwing all that speed into turn 10. And this is the part where it's so important because from between turn 10 to turn 14 is this long, long straight. So if they're able to carry as much speed as possible out of turn 10, they would have a slight advantage for this long, long straight.
That's right, Orpheus there, just on the outside of Orpheus on the SL Alpha. Now it looks like they're coming into this turn. It is the hairpin. Let's just see.
That's right. Ooh, bumper to bumper action right there. Fake Orpheus, maximum pressure on SL Alpha 05, slightly ahead of him. In fact, 1/10 of a second ahead.
But look how much pace that first group is to that second group. The kind of times they have, it's 16 seconds behind that first group. S Alpha looks like he's just overtaken. Oh no, he's still kept in front. He's there with Orpheus.
Still mirror to mirror as they come to
swapping some paint there.
Exactly. A beautiful paint job too for all these cars for the Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore. Oh, beautiful sideway action. Not so good for the time, not so good for the position.
No, as he just managed to hold that back in. Bit like a yo-yo over there as we see that front pack. MVP as well as Dr. Dasyat Razyat. And this is the final lap for these guys to take victory for bragging rights on race 2 here at Deep Forest Raceway in Switzerland.
That's right. The question is, will Dr. Dasyat Razyat be making any moves against MVP to take that second position, or will the two of them settle into this pace, maintain what they have before going into race 3? Because race 3, they get more points depending on where they finish.
Tell you what, there's 5 turns left to do this. I think this hairpin coming up is going to be crucial to what's going to lay out for the rest of those last 4 turns. And how has MVP taken it? He's taking like an MVP. Everything seems as per normal. I don't think he's going to have enough pace to make it up unless MVP makes a mistake. But I think this is going to be a race winner. It's a fast pace last turn for turn 18, and there he is coming up to the checkered flag. That is F-ISA in pole position, taking the first position. He's taken it all. It's a clean sweep with MVP in second, Dr. Dasyat Razyat in third, and now we're seeing that mid-pack make it up down that hill.
That's right, Daft Punk 187 finishing that final corner with SL Alpha closely behind in 5th, blocking Fake Orpheus, who was trying to go onto the inside by the wall to take that position if that was possible, but that was not possible. 7th place goes to Lee Yong-ming. TF Sito gets 8th, Douglas X Lim in 9th with Boyzan in 10th, closely behind him, finishing off the top 10. Last 2 drivers, Jaja in 11th, Vince Speed in 12th, a little further behind from this mid-pack, but also pulling pretty consistent lap times, as you can see on the right side. Good job for these drivers. All of them performed phenomenally well.
Just as we wait for Vince Speed there in 12th position to make that Last turn there for the checkered flag, and he makes it over safely in one piece. That is our top 12 there for race 2 in Switzerland, Deep Forest Raceway. I mean, come on, our racers are definitely in it to win it. Now let's see if there are any changes to the positions.
Well done, everyone. I see slight movements in the positioning, but our current top spots remains unchanged. That brings race 2 to a close. Kudos to all the drivers for putting on such a fantastic show.
Well, at last, the grand finale of this evening. Hung, from what I remember, the point system for race 3 differs from race 1 and 2?
You're right. For race 3, we do have a different point system from the previous 2 races. They are first, 25 points, second, 18 points, third, 15 points, fourth, 12 points, fifth, 10 points, sixth, 8 points, 7th, 6 points, 8th, 5 points, 9th, 4 points, 10th, 3 points, 11th, 2 points, and 12th, 1 point. Meaning there might be some dramatic changes made to the leaderboard at the end of this race. Okay, we are ready to move on to the grand finale, the third and final race for this year's TGR GT Cup Singapore. The final race will be held at Grand Valley Highway South. Claire, what are some of your thoughts on this circuit?
Well, Grand Valley South, it's a technical circuit. And you know, hopefully you're not too distracted by the big cliff face of the Big Sur Coast Highway. Now the circuit, it's narrow. That means no room for mistakes. And I think the blind corners will equalize that field, and it will really be about the battle of the bravest.
Couldn't agree with you more. Also, all eyes are now on the GR86, the star of the show. What is your prediction of the car's performance on this demanding circuit?
Well, for me, the GR86, it's a well-rounded sports car, punchy engine, stiff body structure, and I think those in the GR86 that they will feel one with the car, especially around sweepers and hairpins.
Absolutely electrifying. Going into their last race, our racers' ability to adjust their approach to changing tracks and car models will definitely give them the competitive edge. This is going to come from hours and hours of practice to plan their moves strategically.
For racers who are defending the positions, maintaining consistent lap times, executing precise maneuvers, it's going to be crucial.
And for those who are looking to catch up on their points, they must ensure that they're maximizing every corner, every straight. Learning from their mistakes and staying focused on their goal can help to fuel their determination for this final round.
Now for our viewers, do note that our voting segment is now closed. Now all of you who are nervous, and I know I am, to find out if the racer you voted for is going to win the race, are you nervous?
I am definitely nervous. Without further ado, let's ignite the engines and dive into the pivotal race of the night.
Here we are, Grand Valley South in the US of A. This is a 3-kilometer circuit, a shortened version of a 5, or just under a 5-kilometer circuit, a full circuit. And we have the last race 3 over here as we wait for the lights to go out. And there it is, 4 lights out, it's a go, go, go.
And here we have all the drivers coming in from a beautiful clean start. A very tight and narrow circuit. You can see there are railings on both left and right sides. There's no room for error. These drivers are not going to want to hit the wall, nor are they going to want to hit each other. Currently leading the pack is F. Isa, followed by Dr. Dasat Rasyat. Third is MVP, followed by Boyzan, and fourth, Lee Yong Ming in fifth.
Stunning, but narrow street circuit here. Like you said, no mistakes can be made. It's technical, so many blind sections. I think just because of the topography of the whole place. And you know what? It's going to be hard to read. It's going to be hard to judge from this for this first lap. But I tell you what, what's quite amazing, you're going to see it set along. It's the Big Sur Coast Highway, which I know in real life, I really want to go, is the Big Sur. Very known for a tourist attraction, as we see these guys. It's red dirt, so really in real life, if you hit that red dirt, it's very easy to come off on circuit.
That's right, it is very slippery, if that's even the right word to use, but we can see that these drivers here are not tourists. They're not interested in the views the beautiful views, I might add. They're more interested in battling each other. Look at that. These three drivers going side by side. That is Fake Orpheus in 7th, Douglas Lim in 8th, and Daft Punk at 187 in 9th position. Two of them with half-second penalties going side by side in this two-lane road. That is a circuit. Coming back to turn 1 now, Douglas Lim pushing, taking the inside, pushing Fake Orpheus into 8th position. Wow, exciting stuff already happening here on lap number 2.
It's got all the exciting tilts and leans and undulation in this circuit as they hit back to that phenomenal view going there of the Big Sur. And really, these guys now halfway through this 3-kilometer circuit, going into sector 2 as these guys.
They are going bumper to bumper, almost like bumper cars. Penalty kicking in, penalty cleared, losing a little bit of speed and time. You can see Fake Orpheus there trying to squeeze in between the two. In fact, he's merged together with Douglas Lim there. I think their timings must be very, very similar. But able eventually to squeeze into 7th position, Daft Punk dropping to 9th, Douglas into 8th. So that half a second penalty for those two drivers did in fact give Fake Orpheus some opportunities.
A fastest lap by F. Issa, who we don't quite see at the front of the pack, but just coming out of that tunnel, seeing the light at the end of that tunnel. We have Fake Orpheus as well as Douglas X Lim and Daft Punk. When will it end? Well, these guys have got another 4.5 laps to go. It's far, far from the end of that dream.
That's right. Now TF Sito in 10th position, waiting patiently behind those drivers for an opportunity to pounce up as well. All right, now cameras over to Daft Punk 187 in 7th position, SL Alpha in 6th position, and you can see the red does kick up as you mentioned earlier, Claire. I wonder if it blocks the view for the drivers behind.
I tell you what, massive drop in timings there by F. Issa, 121.153. We see that it looks like Fake Orpheus, his tail end just hit those rocks over there. So a little bit of rear end damage if that was to be in real life. But MVP, hot on the heels of Dr. Dasyat Rasyat. And we know these guys have been just playing Chinese checkers, really, back and forth of each other.
That's right, with only half a second gap between himself and Dr. Dasyat Rasyat ahead of him. Will there be a battle for 2nd position? We don't know yet, because it will be important for MVP to try to take 2nd position, because you get a little bit more points in this race 3 as compared to race 1 and race 2. Coming back to mid-pack now, cameras back onto Daft Punk 187, who has a 0.5 second penalty again. Once again, Fake Orpheus 22 in 8th position, slightly behind, 0.2 of a second behind. So when when Daft Punk takes that penalty, it will be an opportunity for Fake Orpheus to pounce ahead. Whether it's needed or not, we don't know yet. You can see Fake Orpheus now, turn 1 on the inside, almost taking it. Not quite yet.
As the pressure mounts, so do the penalties. Adding up, these guys really are picking at seconds over there. Daft Punk really takes it very wide as he seems to, well, he's trying to regain control there, but Dr. Dasyat Rasyat, he is there hot on the heels. It's almost slightly confusing there when you see the roads split, but I do believe that's probably part of the larger circuit. But Dr. Dasyat right on the heels of him, MVP. Are we going to see the crossover? Will it be clean in his tunnel? There's inclination, taking the curb hard. These guys now sweep across a right-hander down that long stretch of tunnel.
That's right. Well, the drivers will be confident to know that these GR86 race cars have perfectly balanced shock absorbers, so they're able to take those bumps and rumble strips as hard as they wish. However, it will unsettle the car, especially in some of those corners. So even if they're using the full width, they do have to take caution. And there's no caution here. MVP, knowing that he's only 0.2 of a second behind Dr. Dasyat Rasyat, pushing onto that rear bumper and seeing if there's any opportunity for him to jump ahead. Just clocked the fastest sector timing so far for this race.
And what a fun circuit this is with the rear-wheel drive. In real life, I do believe they have like a one-make series for this, and this is one of the best rear-wheel amateur cars to start off in for actual real-life racing. And I can say, Dr. Dasyat, I saw his rear end kind of squeak, kind of like, you know, squidge out just a little bit. So I know that's where he's lost some timing, and that's why he's catching right up. There's Rashad again, a little too heavy into that corner. Tap braking, perhaps a little bit too long there. I think he's losing control. That's why he's holding that brake a little bit longer, but also that's why his rear end is just kind of, you know, sliding out of him. MG MVP all over the back of him. I do believe we're going to have some action over here as Dr. Dashat perhaps loses his cool, loses his concentration. This is a circuit, you need to be hyper-focused. No blinking allowed.
No, absolutely right, Claire. And they are now completing lap number 5 into lap number 6 as they come into turn 1. That consistency, will it play out? You can see the timing a little bit. Oh, MG MVP there, taking that beautiful, beautiful corner, taking the second spot away from Dr. Dashat Rasyad.
That's right, F. Issa. Hope he likes ice cream, because there he is, taking that cream right off that top there, as he just has an easy path. And these guys really battled out right behind him. I'm sure he's looking in his rear mirror.
As
and
a good
he's grateful.
thing. Exactly. It's a good thing for F. Issa, because as these two drivers are battling, F. Issa is able to maintain his focus and try to slowly pull away, which he is. It's a 3-second gap between him and MG MVP right now.
A little bit of a nudge there from Dashat Rasyad. I'm sure that MG MVP might have felt that, but that is 1.5 laps to go. In fact, these guys are now going to come up to the straights with the tunnel, and this always seems to be a part where they enter the darkness, and who comes out, who survives, you know, into the light.
That's right, and that's also right where the last couple of corners are. But oh, contact between Daft Punk and Boyzan right there as they enter that tunnel we were just talking about. Side by side, Boyzan now taking the 8th position, Daft Punk still in 9th. Yeah, a lot of very physical driving between these drivers here.
Yeah, it certainly is a circuit where things are pretty aggressive. These guys swapping paint, a lot of weaving in and out amongst each other.
That's right. Now Daft Punk catching up onto turn 1 with Boyzan side by side. Boyzan on the inside line, braking a little bit later, holding on to the line. Is he going to hold on to the line completely? I think he does, but Daft Punk now, no, still at the back.
Not quite enough there. As we see, this is the final lap. We are going into the last few turns at 8, 9, 10, sector 3.
Ooh.
Before the checkered flag, and MG MVP, he's got to make his move now. And you know what? A huge mistake. Was it because he got tipped?
I think there was a bit of contact there, but Dr. Dashat maybe still able to hold on to that position in 3rd place. Thankfully, nothing dramatic, no hitting the walls. But wow, that was
a deer in the headlights right there.
Aggressive.
Deer in the headlights. But you know what? F. Issa, he's taking it home. Here comes the start-finish line. Here comes the checkered flag. And F. Issa taking that first possession. Second, going to MG MVP. And in 3rd, Dr. Dashat. Not quite enough, Rasyad. And coming out of that tunnel into that wonderful straight there, we are waiting for SL Alpha.
That's right, to cross the start-finish line in 4th position. Pretty good driving, pretty consistent and safe. Lee Yong-min crossing the line in 5th, Fake Orpheus in 6th, Douglas X Lim in 7th, Daft Punk 187 in 8th, Boyzan in 9th, TF Sito finishing that race in 10th. Cameras now on to Jaja on the final lap on his front straight, crossing that start-finish line in 11th position, and Vin Speed wrapping it all up for the top 12.
Awesome performance, everyone.
Indeed, Claire. This race has been nothing short of spectacular. With all 3 races now in the rearview mirror, the time has come for the grand unveiling. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the creme de la creme, the podium finishers of the TGR GT Cup Singapore 2023.
A huge congratulations to our winners. A special shout out to our 2nd runner-up who showcased unwavering determination, Zion Rasyad. Seizing the spotlight as our 1st runner-up who pushed the limits of speed and skill, Ethan Yo. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for, the champion who conquered the track and emerged victorious, the remarkable Fidris Issa. Let's take a look at the results of the final leaderboard.
Congrats on the well-deserved win. As we conclude the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Singapore Finals, remember, it's not just about the finish line. It's about the journey, the passion, and the shared camaraderie.
A heartfelt thank you to all of our racers for delivering the thrilling moments, and to our viewers for tuning in. Till we see you again, bye.
Toyota, move your world.